Okay, so this is lesson 3 and 4. So this is generation of initial thoughts. So they're not initial ideas. It's a technique we can use for research to identify what other research we need to do. So we have a go at designing some solutions, and then it should flag up things you don't know. That's the main thing. It's flagging up what you don't know, and then it should identify what research you need to do. So if you do it on some form of paper, could be cereal box, cut some cereal box up and do it on the back of there. Doesn't really matter. It doesn't have to be nice, clean paper. If you can try and do it portrait, and we'll do 2 sets of ideas or initial thoughts on the portraits, then what you can do is photograph them, and we can try and merge them together and get them onto the PowerPoint. If you just do them on A4 landscape like this, it just means we're just making it bigger. So you have to draw really small to get a range of ideas on there. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to draw them on 2 sheets of A4. So kickstarting in the corner over here, this is optional, you could do a little spider diagram. So we know it's related to teenage lifestyles is our context, and ours is going to be related to music. The problem is the promotion of a band, potential, or artist. So in that area, I'm just trying to come up with some things that I might want to design to solve that problem. So we might produce a CD packaging, which is ultimately what we're going to do. We could do DVD, could be a film of a concert. It could be badges that you produce. It could be T-shirts and the packaging for those. And some of you will go to concerts. And in the past you may have seen some other merchandise that they might sell. So just put them on here. You could do a quick Google search, have a look at other band merchandise along the top. This is going to be the big one that we're going to kickstart off with, which is the design of the CD packaging. So there's loads of stuff on the internet. If you just search CD packaging, all really, really creative stuff that's accessible. You can use them off the internet. So if I just went for a digipack, a kind of like a booklet fold, I might sketch this out on the side. So this is my idea to hold the CD. The CD will be at the back here, so I could do a little label CD on the back. But then I'm thinking, I'm not sure how the CD is going to be held in there, so I might do an additional little sketch here to say how it might be held. So this is going to be a fold line. The CD is going to sit somewhere in this particular area, but then I don't know how big this is. So again, I've got a problem here. So I might identify it with a little cross and just a little description that I don't know. I need to find out how big a CD needs to be. Let's say I'm unsure about how that CD can be held securely in there. Again, I can identify a little annotation, could put a little cross, and I can say, look, I need to look at methods of holding CDs in. I might look at some existing CD packages in. Let's say I've got to put some surface graphics on here for my genre. Let's say it's going to be rock or something like that. Again, that's another problem. I don't really know what to do for it. So I might write in here, I've got a problem. And I might say I'm going to look at some CD surface graphics as part of my research on there. Once you've done that, you can enhance it. You could do a bit of thick and thin line technique. If you've got a biro, just press on a bit harder. If you want to, you could put some hatching. If you want to colour them, you can do, or shade them. It's not absolutely necessary. What we need to do, the important thing is trying to get it from your head onto the paper. So if I do one more, let's say we decided I could carry on with another idea for the CD packaging, or I might do something a little bit different. So this time it might be some form of point of sales display. So I know it might have been year 9 or year 8, we did something like this. I might just sketch out a little cuboid on the side. I might have like a slope in front, maybe something like this, and it goes into that part here. But it doesn't look very interesting, so maybe I'm a bit stuck for ideas for a creative point of sales display, which could go on a table when people are coming to the concert to promote, let's say, the T-shirt, in which case I could again put a little problem, and I could say I need to look at some point of sales display. So I just describe, just in brief, what that problem might be. So I can research them. Let's say I've got no idea upon this potential size of that. So again, I could do, that's another problem. I need to do some research into the size of table talkers. So they only need to be labels, and then the most important thing is the evaluation of them to try and come up with what research you needs to do. Okay, and then somewhere on the sheet, maybe over here, you might just draw up a neat than this. You might just say research plan. So you're adding to your list that you've done on your context sheet. So because you've done these sketches, you've got a better idea of things that you need to find out. So you might just write down what research you need to do. So looking at these two ideas here, I've got no idea on the size of a CD, got no idea on materials, I've got no idea on the surface graphics. So all of these things could go into this little box. So it might end up looking a little bit more like this, to get the right way around. So I've tried to do all the problems in red. I've applied a little bit of a finish on my sketches. I've tried to pack it in as much as I possibly can. I've got the spider diagram on the top over here, and then I take the photos of these and try and get them on the PowerPoint. Remember, if you don't have access to PowerPoint, just try and take a photo from the top, and then if you send me that, and I'll put that onto a PowerPoint file that I can then eventually pass on to you when we're back in school. Okay, but if you get stuck, make sure you email and I'll try and help you. Thank you.